Kush's movie review.
Those
This
trumpets are
week's
very triumphant.
yes, they are. This week's Kush's movie review is Mel Gibson's Flight Risk. And why would Mel Gibson be considered a flight risk, you ask? Well, because after Braveheart, he's known for running away from the law, and with Lethal Weapon, he's got a license to kill time in any airport. Plus, if he gets caught, he might just pay back with a ransom for his freedom.
Yeah, you put a lot of effort into that. I
Yeah.
like that. That was
Plus, he
good.
has a massive drinking problem, hates Jewish people. Ah! So, Kush, tell us about this movie. If I remember correctly from the trailer, is this the movie where Mark Wahlberg has an incredible hairline?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
what's up with
So
that?
Mark Wahlberg is wearing a wig on top of a bald cap, where that it's not a good bald cap. Like he's supposed to be bald in the movie, but like, by the way, I'm oblivious about stupid shit like this. But even I'm just like, oh yeah, there's that glue line right there. Like I don't ever see stuff like that. I'm just like, well, I mean, it's a different look. Okay. But we are talking about Flight Risk. Um, it's it has the title is very appropriate for the movie. However, still not a good title because I keep wanting to call it Flight Plan, which is a completely different movie entirely from multiple years ago, and I don't even know if I saw that. It is rated R. There's some language in it. There's less violence in this than there is in a PG-13 movie.
Hmm.
Less blood even, but for some reason this is rated R. I don't know why.
Is it because they
91
use
minutes long.
naughty language?
I mean, I don't want. I want to say they didn't say fuck too many times, but maybe they did. Maybe that shit just rolls in one ear and out the other for old cliches here. But this is directed and only directed by Mel Gibson. He has nothing to do with the writing. He's not starring in it. This is written by a gentleman named Jared Rosenberg, and then stars a young woman named Michelle Dockery. And the entire movie, I'm trying to figure out, like, where do I know you from? I don't know you, but I know I've seen you. She's actually from Downton Abbey. I've only seen the two movies. I've not seen the TV series, but there she is. She was also one of the smallest cogs in a fun Guy Ritchie movie called The Gentleman. I think she has the highest body count in that movie too, by the way. Anyways, Mark Wahlberg, Topher Grace, and then the voice of Leigh Remini are all in this movie here. Again, 91 minutes long. It's 98% of this movie is contained on a little puddle jumper. Mike, if you don't know what that is, it's just a tiny little plane. Maybe seats four people and some cargo. Like we only have three people in this plane, so there you go. Um, Topher Grace is a wanted man. He's a federal fugitive on the run. He is captured by Miss Dockery in a hotel in Alaska, and her objective is to get him from wherever they are in Alaska to Anchorage so they can take another plane to Seattle, where he has agreed to be a state's witness and he's going to inform on a big mafia boss. And, well, you might say Miss Dockery is being a little overprotective of this guy because it's Topher Grace. I don't see him posing a threat, but he is the flight risk. I roll. Anyway, um, Mark Wahlberg comes into the scene, and then, all this is in the trailer. We had a little turbulence or whatever, and the pilot license falls out from under the seat, and the gentleman in the picture does not resemble Mark Wahlberg at all. And all of a sudden, we know, like, oh no, we're in all sorts of danger. I've never been on one of those little four-seater planes, but I feel like even 91 minutes of that would just be frustrating and a little terrifying. Just because you don't like, apparently a small gust of wind just shakes this fucking thing all the time. They do an interesting thing at the beginning of the beginning of the film, where we're in the air and FBI agent lady is trying to talk to the pilot, and he's like, "You gotta put your cans on." And after she puts the cans on, only then can they communicate. Otherwise, he's like, "I can't hear you." Oh, between the engine and the wind and the birds flying at us, I can't hear a word you're saying here. So put the cans on. So she does. And while those two are talking, Topher Grace is just talking some shit in the background. And then for whatever reason, after we discover that Mark Wahlberg is indeed the bad guy, then everybody, no one needs the cans, and everybody can just talk like you and I talk every night, like we're in this microphone here,
Classic.
and like people on YouTube are watching right now. And I think that's actually my biggest complaint. That and just like again, like this feels like I was in a jet or in a tiny little private plane for 91 minutes. It's not Mel Gibson's best movie. It's definitely not a bad movie. A lot of people are trying to already like proclaim this as like when I called Night Swim the worst movie of the year so far, and we were only in week one. That record actually held for a while. I don't think that's this. Um, I can see why people don't like it. A lot of people are still not liking Mel Gibson, and they just hate watched it. I think that's a waste of energy and time. Um, Everything is in there. Mel Gibson, regardless of what you think about him, I don't hate the guy, but guess what? I got very comfortable with the fact that people don't like Jewish people decades ago. I got that into my system and it's like, yeah, all right. And now I'm Jewish. So there you go. What are you gonna do? He knows how to make a movie. You don't have to support it if you don't want to. I I would honestly not suggest anyone see this in the theater, not because of anything Mel Gibson's done, but I think this would be better on like Peacock or some whatever streaming service. I think it would even be better as a condensed 45-minute TV procedural. Cold Case, NCIS, CSI, whatever popular TV show is out there right now. I think this would have made a better episode of that than to try and make it its own full-length movie. Um, Mark Wahlberg is very cool as the villain. Or maybe cool isn't the right word, but I enjoyed his performance. He is very over the top. He is having fun. He hasn't been a bad guy in a movie, to my knowledge, for the last 30 years. One of his first roles was he played a psychotic boyfriend in high school or college or whatever. So again, 30 years ago. Michelle Dory, great, good performance, but she's very straight-laced and she's by the book, and you kind of just like, maybe just listen to the guy behind you, stupid. Um, Topher Grace, who he's been doing stuff, but I haven't seen him in a movie since Black Klansman when he played David Duke. And then for some reason, it's like, I gotta take time off and like go on a resort and recycle my brain because playing David Duke made me feel terrible. And it's like, yeah, you weren't in that movie that long, and you play him as a buffoon. I think you were okay, dude. It was all right. Like that whole story is buffoonish on the KKK side. Anyways, Leigh Remini, I was surprised to hear was the voice. I had to wait for the credits to go like, who the fuck is this woman talking to on the phone? Oh, it's Leigh Remini. So there's some very interesting actors in this very short cast that I think were the only ones who were willing to work with Mel Gibson. Take that what you want. I don't know who else he could have made this with. I don't know who would have made this movie better. Um, but I do know Mel Gibson is trying to make Passion of the Christ too. That is not a joke. So he needed some money, and this was probably the only movie that the studios were going to let him direct. So again, take all that with what you will. It's not a bad movie. It's definitely not a great movie. I would like to give it 4 out of 5, but I still have to give it a 3. For 91 minutes, no, this should be a TV episode of something. It shouldn't have been a full feature movie. So, but I liked it. I'd watch it again, but I would watch it here at home on my beautiful 4K TV where I don't have to worry about people in the audience. And yeah, there was no fouls in the
Oh,
audience this week.
that's a shame. I normally love hearing
Yeah,
those
if we had
stories.
done the review for Wolfman last week, that would have been a different story. But
Oh, you tease.
all right, well, you'll just have to figure that out. So, anyways, Flight Risk, rated R, 91 minutes. Mel Gibson, 3 out of 5, but a strong 3 out of 5.
Good. Now, if you've seen Flight Risk and you want to comment on the movie, again, hit us up in the comment section below. Or forever hold your peace. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this. Because you movie review, hit the subscribe button, watch it, blah, 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 blah.
Hugs and kisses, baby.
Cheers.
That's all, folks.
Play me off, Johnny.